Hello, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Mula po dito sa The Hague, Netherlands. Ito po si Sasragando Sasot ng For the Motherland Vlog. At ito po, 'di ba? 2000 sa hindi po sa mga bagong kakasubaybay lang po sa vlog ko. 2016 pa po namin pinag-uusapan itong Plan ICC ng opposition. At ito na nakikita na natin that the plan is progressing although slowly. Ngayon po, ito pong gagawin ko po ngayong live ay para po ma-explain po sa mga taong bayan at ano po ba yung proseso sa International Criminal Court, hindi ba? So, i-explain ko po yung proseso, tapos kung ano po yung sa tingin ko ang end goal ng opposition sa bawat phase, at syempre, i-discuss ko rin po yung irregularity na nakikita ko sa ginagawa ng International Criminal Court and why I think the International Criminal Court is paying attention to this case. Ayan. So, umpisahan na po natin ang ating discussion. Yung mga gusto pong ipaalam sa inyo pong mga kasama kung ano po itong proseso sa ICC, i-share nyo na lang po itong video. I-click nyo lang naman yung share. So, ito po, magdi-discuss na po tayo. So, ano po ba yung proseso sa ICC, International Criminal Court? Bago pong lahat, let me just explain what is the ICC. Ang International Criminal Court po ay isa pong korte, international court, na itinayo ng iba't ibang bansa. Hindi po ito korte ng United Nations. Ang International Criminal Court po ay isa pong separate na institution sa United Nations. Siya lang po ay tinayo ng mga bansang, syempre, ka-member din ng United Nations, pero magkaiba po sila. Ang ICC ay tinayo po siya after po na magimbal ang mundo sa mga nangyayaring genocide, lalong-lalo na po sa nangyaring genocide sa Rwanda noong mid-90s. So, ang ginawa po ng mga bansa, gusto po nila na, they like to take action on cases of massive atrocities, di ba? Gusto nila magkaroon ng isang korte na didinig ng mga ganitong mga kaso, yung mga grave abuses of human rights, mga war crimes, etc. So, itinayo siya sa pamamagitan ng isang treaty. At yung ICC po, dito po sa The Hague, naka-base. I think it's only 15 minutes away from my house. If I'm not mistaken, by bike ha. It's 15 minutes away from my house by bike. No, maybe 20 minutes. Yeah, by bike. Ngayon, ano ang pinagkaiba ng ICC, ng International Criminal Court at ng International Court of Justice? Ang International Court of Justice po ay ang korte ng United Nations at ang hinahabla po sa International Court of Justice ay bansa. Sa International Criminal Court po, ang hinahabla po dyan ay tao, individuals. So it's a normal criminal court nang hinahabla mo ay tao, and it's a normal criminal court na kailangan ng proof beyond reasonable doubt, etc. Now, ano ba yung proseso? Okay, ganito. Ang ICC po ay nagtitake action lang po ito sa pamamagitan po ng tatlong paraan. Unang-una, ano ba? Kung ang UN Security Council ay mag-refer ng situation sa ICC. Diba? Ang UN Security Council, gagawa ng resolution, tapos sabihin nila sa ICC, Oy, ICC, imbestigahan mo naman tong situation na to. Yan ang una. Ang ikalawang paraan para ang ICC ay kumilos, ay ni-refer ng member state ng ICC yung situation. Halimbawa, ang Pilipinas. Diba? Halimbawa, ang Pilipinas ay isang member ng ICC. Gusto niyang i-refer yung situation niya para imbestigahan ng ICC. That's the second way. Ang ikatlo paraan ay yung sariling initiative ng ICC prosecutor. Ito po yung tinatawag na motu proprio, if I'm not mistaken. Hindi ako po lawyer, pero I think that's the term. Sarili po niyang initiative, di ba? So number one, hindi naman, ang situation natin sa Pilipinas ay hindi na-refer ng UN Security Council, so hindi yan yung paraan. Ikalawa, hindi naman ni-refer ng government ang situation natin sa Philippines. So, hindi na nangyari. So, ano nangyayari ngayon? Ang nangyari po ngayon, the ICC prosecutor, ang ICC prosecutor na si Fatu, ayan siya, si Fatu Bensouda, I don't know if I pronounced her last name right, si Fatu Bensouda, siya ngayon ang ICC prosecutor, ay sa kanyang sariling initiative ay gusto niyang tingnan ang situation sa Pilipinas. Ngayon, bakit niya ito ginawa? Kasi naka-receive siya ng mga communication. Ang tawag po dyan ay communication. Yung pinadala po ni Alejandro sa Trillanes dito, they are called communications. Hindi po siya complaint or whatever. Ang tawag po dyan ay communication. Hindi rin po yun yung kaso. Kasi ang ICC prosecutor lang naman po ang may karapatan mag-file ng kaso, and I will discuss it in a moment. So, ano ngayon ang mga steps? Diba? Ano mga steps? Ang unang-una pong step ay syempre may magpapadala ng communication. So yun yung ginawa ni Alejandro sa Trillanes. Nagpadala siya ng communication dito sa ICC. And then after reading this communication, pagkatapos basahin ang communication na ito, itong ICC prosecutor ay magde-decide kung magko-conduct siya ng preliminary examination. Diba? Preliminary examination nung situation sa Pilipinas or kung saan mang bansa ang ni-refer, di ba? So, ganyan na po ang ginagawa ng ICC prosecutor. She just announced na magkakandak po siya ng preliminary examination ng situation sa Pilipinas and sa isang bansa ay Venezuela. And these two countries, bibigay tayo ng clue kung bakit ito ginagawa. And I will discuss it later, kung bakit napipressure ito si Fatu Bensouda na gawin ito. So, gagawa siya ng preliminary examination. So, ano mangyayari sa preliminary examination? Ang preliminary examination po ba ay investigation? No. Ang preliminary examination po ay hindi investigation. Ang preliminary examination po ay babasahin ng prosecutor yung complaint at i-determine niya kung may jurisdiction ba ang ICC dito sa situation na to. Admissible ba itong situation na ito para sa investigation? At meron bang interest of justice para ipagpatuloy ang proseso? Yan pong i-determine ng prosecutor sa preliminary examination. So yon, i-determine niya yan. Ngayon, once ma-determine niya na merong jurisdiction, na admissible itong situation na to, tapos merong, this is in the interest of justice, ang gagawin po ni Fatu Bensouda, ang gagawin po ng ICC prosecutor, step 2, ay magre-request siya for investigation. Saan niya ito i-request? I-request niya ito sa pre-trial chamber court number 2 ng ICC. So bago siya magsimula ng investigation, she needs to get permission. Diba? Permission from the pre-trial chamber court 2 na mag-investigate. Of course, yung pre-trial chamber court 2, titingnan niya kung tama yung ICC prosecutor sa kanyang findings na pasok sa jurisdiction, may subject matter ay pasok din dun sa treaty ng ICC, admissible ba siya at nasa interest of justice. Ngayon, after niyan, syempre, magde-decide ang pre-trial chamber court 2. It's either mag-yes ang pre-trial chamber court 2 na, okay, go ahead, Fatu, ICC prosecutor, go ahead with your investigation. So, bibigyan siya ng permission. Siyempre, yung country naman natin, our country can, siyempre, as a good member, you would accept. Pero like, for example, ang Israel, dinidelay niya yung pagpasok ng ICC prosecutor sa Israel. So, may mga delaying tactics na nagagawa. So, you can do a lot of things in order to delay this process. Pero yun nga. Pero sa ICC, sa proseso niya, ang pre-trial chamber court magbibigay ng permission sa ICC prosecutor. Wala pa po dyan. Nasa step 1 pa lang po sa ICC, ito yung preliminary examination. Matagal, i-explain ko kung gaano katagal ang proseso na to using another case na kapareho ni Duterte kasi Duterte is a sitting head of state. So this case is very close to what Duterte is going through. So step 2, request for investigation. So nagbigay na ng permission ng pre-trial chamber court 2. Anong susunod? Di yung investigation, 'di ba? Mag-iimbestiga na ngayon yung ICC prosecutor. So, pupunta siya sa bansa, she would gather facts, and just like any criminal case, she would establish probable cause na tinatawag. Ngayon, kung nakapag-establish siya ng probable cause, babalik na naman siya sa korte, sa ICC court, si Fatu Bensouda, ang ICC prosecutor, at mag-a-apply siya ngayon ng warrant of arrest or summon to appear. Diba? Warrant of arrest against Duterte and anyone na nakuha na niya ng probable cause na nag-commit ng ng crimes against humanity yung kinakaso ng crimes against humanity. So, either mag-apply siya ng warrant of arrest or summon to appear. Ngayon, ano po ba ang pinagkaiba ng warrant of arrest at summon to appear? Ang warrant of arrest po is just like any warrant na ikaw ay huhulihin at ikukulong. Diba? Ikaw ay huhulihin at ikukulong. Ngayon, kung summon to appear lang, hindi ka kailangang i-detain. Diba? Hindi ka kailangang i-detain kung summon to appear lang. Of course, you need to appear, pero hindi ka kailangang i-detain. You can stay in a hotel or whatever. Yung kaso na ipapaliwanag ko later, summon to appear yung in-apply sa kanya, hindi warrant of arrest. So, yun yung step 4. So, mag-apply siya ng warrant of arrest or summon to appear. And then, of course, ang pinakahuling step ay the trial. So, matagal pa bago ang trial. So, nasa preliminary examination pa lang ang step. Diba? Wala pang investigation. Preliminary examination po ang tawag dyan. So, gaano ba ito katagal? Diba? Gaano ba katagal ang proseso? Okay. Sandali. Ito, ipapakita ko sa inyo, ha? Ito si Uhuru Kenyatta. Yeah. Si Uhuru Kenyatta po ay presidente ng Kenya. Diba? Presidente siya ng Kenya. Tapos, there was an ICC case filed against him noong 2011. So, ito yung magandang makitang time frame para makita natin kung ano katagal uusad yung proseso. Okay. Sa step 1, nung step 1 sa kanya, kay Uhuru Kenyatta, is yung ICC prosecutor nag-declare siya na preliminary examination ng December 2007. December 2007 na nag-declare siya ang ICC prosecutor noon pa si Luis Ocampo. So, 2007, siya po ay magpe-preliminary examination. And then, after 2 years, doon pa lang na-determine, doon pa lang nag-step to kay Uhuru Kenyatta. Kasi December 2007, nag-announce sa preliminary examination. Ngayon, November 26, 2009, doon pa lang nag-request for authorization of investigation si Luis Ocampo, yung ICC prosecutor noon. So that it's around 2 years, di ba? Around 2 years. And then, nagkaroon ng investigation. And then, after nung step 3, yung investigation, it took Luis Ocampo November 2009 to March 2010. So, medyo madali lang. November, December, January, February, March. 4 months, nagawa niya investigation niya, Luis Ocampo. And then, Luis Ocampo applied for a warrant summon to appear kay Kenyatta. So, and then, kaya yun. So, medyo matagal. Diba? Medyo matagal. Actually, December 2010 pala. So, after a year, doon palang nag-apply ng summon to appear kay Kenyatta. So yun. So, the whole process, kung kay Kenyatta yung aano natin, it took around 3 years and 4 months before maglabas ng warrant of arrest or summon to appear ang ICC court laban sa isang sitting head of state. Ito yung nangyari kay Kenyatta. So, 3 years and 4 months. So, ngayon siya nag-announce, February. Ang ganda ng timing, no? I-explain ko yung timing, ha? February, so 3 years from now, 19, 20, 21. So, maybe 21, kung magtuloy-tuloy yung proseso, walang roadblocks along the way, may issuehan ng warrant of arrest or summon to appear sa Duterte. Pero of course, there are a lot of remedies that the Philippines could take in order for that not to happen. Diba? At ano nga ba yun? Magandang i-explain ko ito by explaining a similar situation kay Duterte. Ito yung kay Felipe Calderon ng President ng Mexico. Why is this very interesting? Kasi si Felipe Calderon po ng Mexico oversaw the war on drugs sa kanyang bansa. And nung 2011, 'di ba? Nung 2011, November 2011, a group of activists filed complaint, nagsend sila ng communication sa ICC to investigate Felipe Calderon. Diba? Felipe Calderon and other high-ranking military officials and police officials tungkol sa kanilang responsibility doon sa war on drugs. Specifically, they would like Calderon to be investigated for allowing his subordinates for the torture, killing, and rape of civilians, diba, in connection with the war on drugs. And during that time na nagsampa sila ng kaso, at least 45,000 Mexicans already died during the war on drugs. So November ito nag-file ng complaint. And then the following month, December 2011, the ICC prosecutor noon, si Luis Ocampo, ito siya. Kita nyo ba siya? Si Luis Ocampo, this guy, si Luis Ocampo. So November final ang communication. December, the next month, the ICC prosecutor already killed the prospect of ICC process. Sabi ni Luis Moreno Ocampo, we do not judge political decisions or political responsibility. Can you imagine? Almost the same case. And mas marami pa nga namatay sa Mexico. 45,000 already died during this time. And the ICC prosecutor said during that time, na we don't judge political decisions or political responsibility. So that's what happened to Calderon. And now, pero, ito si Pato Bensouda is not, hindi siya naging Luis Moreno Ocampo. What she did is she entertained itong communication na final nila Trillanes. Can you imagine? Dalawa lang yan. Yung complaint noon kay Calderon, it was accompanied by 23,000 signatures. Tapos, grabe yung documentation. And 45,000 people already died during the time sa Mexico. So bakit? So why do I think the ICC is paying attention to this one? Unang-una, have you noticed na yung in-announce nila na investigahan Venezuela and Philippines? Unang-una po kasi, the ICC, the International Criminal Court, is being criticized as being too focused on African countries. Kaya nga, di ba, yung mga African countries, marami po sa kanila ang nag-declare na hindi na maging member ng ICC. Ngayon, ano po ba yung bansa ngayon na maingay sa international community na kinakabit ang crimes against humanity? The Philippines, di ba? The Philippines. So, kung hindi ito papansinan ng ICC prosecutor, given the massive PR against Duterte linking him sa crimes against humanity, parang malaking sampal ito kay Fatou Bensouda. Fatou Bensouda is also thinking of her own legacy. Kasi, syempre, you would like to leave a legacy in your career as an ICC prosecutor. So, I think she was pressured to act on it. Diba? Ito si Fatou Bensouda. Especially, gusto rin niyang mawala yung impression na the ICC is only focusing on African situations. Diba? So, sa tanong ni J.M. Ingham, bakit walang DDS sa Netherlands? Meron pong DDS sa Netherlands. Ano ba? Nanalo po dito si Duterte. Ano pinagsasabi niyo? Anyway, so ayun po. Yun po yung unang katingin ko kung bakit Fatou Bensouda is actually, pinapasimula niyang mag-roll yung ball in order for Duterte to be indicted. Ngayon, ano pa yung ikalawang sa tingin ko? Ikalawang reason na sa tingin ko kung bakit nagsimula itong investigation kay Duterte while they ignored Calderon, Felipe Calderon he was not anti-West. Especially, he was not anti-US. Meron pa nga situation noon si Calderon sa Mexico na he allowed the US State Department to conduct intelligence activities sa Mexico. So he was like, Calderon was very, he wasn't not like Duterte, who raises his middle finger to the US, who is anti-US, who has this problem with the US. So basically, there were strings that were pulled, diba? There were strings that were pulled. I would be so surprised if the US is not a member of the ICC, but the US has a lot of allies na members na ICC. Diba? So I wouldn't be surprised if US allies, the members ng ICC, pressured Fatou Bensouda. And, the ICC, the International Criminal Court, is very prone to political pressure. It is. It's not like an ordinary court sa atin na talagang batas lang, na batas lang ang ipapairal, di ba? Na hard, na cold calculation of law lang yung umiiraw. No, the ICC, the International Criminal Court, is a political institution. Di ba? Hindi lang siya legal institution. It is very much influenced by political pressure. So yun ang ikalawa na na nakikita na merong may nagaano niyan, merong nagkukumpas. The timing is so perfect, 'di ba? February 8, how many weeks before the EDSA revolution? 'Di ba? So yun yan. So ano ngayon yung tingin ko na end goal ng opposition? Of course, if you indict, kung ikaw ay naghabla ng sitting head of state, ang goal parati niyan is regime change. Huwag na tayo magbulahan. It's always a regime change. You sue a sitting head of state, at kung matalo siya, of course, makukulong siya. And then, he or she has to vacate his post and give it to the next in line in the succession of power. At sino ba yun? Diba? Si Leni Robredo. So, Leni Robredo has a interest in this whole scenario kasi siya ang sitting vice president, unless of course Bongbong Marcos gets declared as vice president before Duterte gets indicted. Baka nga huminto na itong proseso, di ba? Parang I think the Dilaw would not tolerate having another Marcos as president. Anyway, so yun yung nila, yun yung game plan nila. So in every step, I believe na itong opposition will milk it for its PR purposes, di ba? Ang ganda nga naman na, Duterte is already being, investigated by the ICC. And it's a way of diminishing the external legitimacy of Duterte. So I would expect more black propaganda by the opposition in the international community, centering on Duterte, on this decision of the ICC prosecutor to conduct a preliminary examination. So I think na the Duterte administration, I believe, is gonna do something about this, diba? Kaya nga nila, I believe, kinuha si Harry Roque kasi Harry Roque is knowledgeable in the ICC, diba? He is registered to practice here at the ICC. So I think meron ditong PR wars na mangyayari. The more the opposition links and successfully link Duterte to every single people dying in the Philippines, the more na mapipressure si Fatou. And of course, they would also campaign in among citizens here na ma-pressure yung mga politicians nila na i-convince yung country nila na to put pressure on the ICC na to start the investigation against Duterte. Diba? Given the massive black PR ng against Duterte here in Europe and other Western countries, hindi na ako magtataka. So, ayun nga, I think that our government should seriously think of fighting the PR war that the opposition has been conducting since 2016, di ba? We all have interest in having Duterte stay in power, di ba? Everyone who wants our country, to be better and to be put in a path wherein we would not be in the cluster of a war between the China and the United States, has interest in keeping Duterte in place. Anyone who has interest na ang narco trade ay hindi lalong lumalim at bumaon sa ating lipunan, has an interest in keeping Duterte in place. But of course, the opposition is not interested in keeping Duterte in place because he is against their interests. So, ayun lang. And kasi, Fatu Bensouda will act and will be influenced by the massive PR directed against Duterte. Impossible na hindi. Hindi naman hermit yung ICC prosecutor. So, yun nga, the opposition will use and exploit and milk every step. Kahit nga itong preliminary examination, they will exploit this to mean na Duterte, to attack the external legitimacy of President Duterte. So, I think we must be vigilant and the government must do something in order to counter this move by the opposition. Diba? Kasi they are using international organizations in order to bring themselves back into power. So, yun lang po. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikinig at yung mga kakatune in pa lang po, i-replay nyo na lang po yung aking diniscuss on the ICC process. Maraming salamat po and mabuhay po tayong lahat.